We've got a couple of people coming in.
Oh, morning. What happened?
Alright, it is just time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TechMasters. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. I want to welcome, we've got a couple of guests who are here today. But let's kick it off. Let's get this thing going. I want to introduce our president, a man who really has a lot of plans for change, plans for taking this club to whole new levels. Let's welcome Vince Bollinger. Vince?
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, everyone. We have a couple of guests today, three actually. We have a couple of returning guests. We have a new guest as far as one, and we have our area director here. So one thing we like to do here before we get going is if you would care to join me. If you could please rise, and if you care to do so, please join me in saluting our flag and reciting the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today's timer is Will, do you have an invitation of any kind for us? You do? That's amazing. Look at how well prepared.
Today's invocation. Guilt is resentment directed toward ourselves. Resentment is anger directed
Right now, and we have a returning guest here, Sarah. She will clean up. And if you have any questions about anything, let us know. We have a new guest over here.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, I have a guest. His name is Swapnil. He's from Microsoft. He is interested to see what our club has done.
And us. All right.
Swapnil.
And our last guest is Beth Somerville, the area director. She is here for an official visit sometime. Well, I'll have to be on our best behavior. Make sure to get rid of your awful jokes there. And if you care, if you have anything to say, introduce yourself, let us know who you are.
You know, at the end of the meeting,
A little more. Right. So it also, I will do it as soon as I sit down, but please have a name tag. If you know who you are, please put it up. We should do the interview, but for sure when you have guests, please make sure you do that. All right. So do we have minutes from last week? It's not here. Now, of course, we did have a guest speaker, but we might see if we get ready. Yeah.
I have a notes from the last meeting. Mr. President is the stand-in secretary type person whose internet connection is not working, so I'm having a hard time pulling up the actual notes. However, we met last week on the 25th of August. The word of the day was inception. We had many guests. We had 4 or 5 guests from Tech Systems, and we talked about having a booth at ILM. There was also the talk about the Twin Cities Startup Week, and we went through the meeting. We had 2 speakers. Alex spoke on what's missing in .NET, and David Rasmussen did a talk on speechcraft, and we ended the meeting on time with a total of 12 attendees and 6 guests.
Thank you. Right, so here, is there any old business? Nothing off the top of my head that I'd like to discuss. New business, we had a leadership meeting before this meeting, and we had discussed speechcraft. Of course, we had David Rasmussen, the speechcraft chair, show up here last week and the presentation on, but we had a deeper discussion about it today, and luckily the entire leadership team is on board. I the chair would entertain a motion to conduct speechcraft within the club's formal meeting hours. Right.
Mr. President, I'd like to bring a motion to the floor to use our club's time to host speech draft. I think it would be a great thing for our club and for the new members and bring in people who are a little bit leery to come in to a meeting just because it's a little bit different. It'll give them an opportunity to do it in a very organized and safe setting. I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, thank you. You have a second?
Second.
Before we do that, let's briefly explain what.
Wait, you can't have discussion until you have a second. Okay. Second.
All right, is there any discussion?
Mr. President, I would just like a brief introduction to what speechcraft is before.
Sure. Well, what you're asking is awesome. Now, I do have a whole bunch of speechcraft here, which for David graciously gave to us. The kit normally was $20, but I jumped on the chance to get a free one. Now, there's a whole bunch of different packets and information on it. So the basic idea is that you would try to get a whole bunch of new people to show up, and you would walk them through a TechMasters process experience, and you would try to get them up to speed a little more in more of a workshop format. And there is a guide about how to do everything and everything for us. It's pretty darn easy once you actually wrap your brain around what you're trying to do. You have a meeting that's typical, similar to what we have currently. There'd be a couple fewer roles, and there'd be a lot more presentations by these new members. And the idea is that you're holding their hand through the beginning portion, kind of like the content communicator, but a little bit stripped down and made much more simple and digestible. And if they walk out of that, they would end up being able to use the 3 speeches of the content communicator. So anybody who signs up for the speechcraft will be about 1/3 of the way through their content communicator when they walk out, and they'll be kind of getting springboarded on it. As opposed to somebody like Jonathan who started and hasn't been springboarded. It could be a little bit. I think that it's great. It would be a great experience if I had just started. And I think a lot of people will tenuous when they first start, maybe a little tough, and kind of speechcraft will help you guide them. And it's regularly regarded as the #1 membership tool. And we have a plan of action which would be after the 2 conferences we'll be having a booth, and we can kind of proselytize the speechcraft there and through other various things, meet up there, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully we'll be able to get a bunch of people, whether that's 5 or 20, I don't know. But we have a generic plan of action. Is there any other discussion, any potential information that people would like to have about it? Definitely feel free to stop by and check out some of the materials, especially guests who might care to participate in such an event. And any other discussion or questions? All right, I guess I would call for a vote. All right, all those in favor of holding I specify here, 8-week speechcraft, 8-week speechcraft seminar starting October 6th. And it would take place at the regular meeting time. We would start the speechcraft at 8, but we discussed starting our meeting at 7:40 as normal and having one of this meeting before the speechcraft actually starts. But we would invite everybody to start it. And everyone sound great, Mike?
Mr. President, just as a point of order, I believe the motion was to have this speechcraft, the details of which, whether it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or whatever, will probably be determined by the leadership team.
Phenomenal. All right, I guess
So
we
then we're
can.
just going to, did you want to amend the motion to specify the duration?
Is there any other questions before or against any other questions? Go. Right, great. So, all those in favor of having a speechcraft session, some kind of in the future, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, yeah, that. Great, we'll be having a speechcraft. And I will dictate all the other details as Mike has graciously suggested that I do. All right, any other new business? Nope. All right, are there any announcements?
Mr. President, just want to point out that we've got a number of events coming up. We have Open Source North, which is, I don't know the date on that, but
October 3rd, Saturday, October 3rd.
So it's October 3rd is the Open Source North, which is the week after MVC, which is September
30th, which is 3 days.
Where we got some people speaking at that, and then in October, later in October, I believe there's the Twin Cities Code.
Yep.
So the call for content on Twin Cities Code Camp is still open, so if anyone is interested in speaking at the Code Camp, please go ahead and do that. And Tony, I think you have a conference that's coming up, you've got a call for conference as well.
Yes.
I believe you mentioned it. If you want to talk about it more, go ahead.
Sure. Actually, we just extended our deadline for speaker applications until September 14th, so that. But the Twin City, we have the Midwest Architecture Community Consortium, which is a group of, which is actually an organization consisting of several architects, software architecture, and business architecture related organizations. It's putting on its second annual architecture conference in November. It's November 12th, Thursday. And we are looking for speakers who will talk, and since the audience here is architects, software architects and business architects, it's obviously fairly focused. Any topics submitted have to be fairly focused in that. So, but I did send out an email to everybody. If anybody is interested and hasn't seen it, I can get you, talk to me and I'll get you information on it.
That's great. I submitted a talk for that, and I submitted a talk for CodeCamp, and I will be speaking at Open Source North. And we have a booth at NBC and Open Source North, and we have free tickets. And also for helping you make the booth. Right, now, any other announcements?
Mr. President, are you looking for volunteers to man the booth?
Yes, 2 for each. Now, I'll need 2 for it. Leah is going to be with me at Open Source North, but we have another ticket because I'm already presenting, so I don't need that ticket. So and for NBC, I'm going to do it. People jumping all over the place, and that'll be a Wednesday. So I'm not sure. That's great. So you're already getting it for free. So we'll try to get somebody else to get the name effects debate. We have 1 Open Source North, 1 NBC. Please let me know. Now, as the treasurer, being September 1st, any other announcements you'd like to make?
Oh, yes. My first dues are due. So you can give me a check, or are we ready with PayPal?
No, we have to communicate. But we will get that done by speech credit.
How much is the dues?
The dues,
$7.50 per month, $1.87.
How much for the 6 months?
$45.
$45. Yeah. So you can give me a check, or we got PayPal, and we are giving receipts now. Vince has a template out there, so you can give it to your employers for reimbursement, or use it for tax write-off, or you can just keep it.
That's great. All right, great. So I think we're done. Hurry up and get this going. All right, so I'm going to now introduce the Toastmaster. Today's Toastmaster's last person to speak. Right next to him, he's been a valued member for several years now. He was a past president. If you could please all give me a warm welcome for us. And please get your name and down tab. Thank you.
Yes, we are going to start doing name tags again. Since we left Benchmark, we haven't had access to the tags, so I'll be picking up some tags for the group so we can all do names of guests. Speaking of guests, welcome Sarah and Flavio. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. This is Sarah. Hey, John. Oh, and of course, welcome our local area director. She's been with us a few times, and now she's here doing the proper evaluation. So we have to be on our best behavior. And as you may have heard, we had our officer meeting this morning, so many of us are we got up early to do that. So we got to make sure we keep the energy good. So as your Toastmaster, my role is to navigate us through this meeting in a prompt, efficient sort of way, managing time carefully, and also if there's roles and that sort of thing. How many people here went to this state fair? Has anybody went out there yet? Okay, a few. So I went there this weekend, and I gotta check the numbers, but it was the most crowded I've ever seen it. And something pretty strange happened to me, and I don't know, I hope you think it's strange. So this is my first year at the fair with a newborn. We have our child, 8 months, little beta. And so me and my wife were walking around. all of a sudden she needed to have a diaper change. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even consider this. I'm like, where do you go in the fair to change a diaper? So I'm like walking around and I see another guy about my age holding a little girl, so I'll ask that guy, no, right? So I walk up to him, where do you change your baby's diaper? I'm thinking the same thing. He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, he's like, I'll tell you what. If you do it with me, we can both change our babies on the grass and it won't look weird. And I'm like, I'm in. So we throw our mats on the grass, like in the middle of the fair. And so we're changing our babies, you know how you do that thing. And he started saying my baby's name, which is a pretty unique name. My wife's Indian, so it's an Indian name, Veda, which is not maybe that strange in India, but it's not very common here, unless you watch My Girl. You know, that was the main character's name. And I'm like, how does this guy know my baby's name? Why is he saying it when he's changing his diaper? That's creepy. And then he hears me say Veda, and he looks at me. And so this random guy, an American guy, who, this busy fair, I walked up to, we changed diapers together, both have the same name, and I've never met another Veda here, especially American. And so that was very, very interesting. Turned out he lived in Winona at the same time I did. He worked at Fastenal in IT a year after I did. And so we had all this stuff in common. I didn't get his name. He had the same name. But I felt like this is a very, very, very strange experience. So if you go to the fair, I guess you never know what's going to happen. So that was interesting for me. So if you haven't went there, it's obviously a lot of fun and you gain a lot of weight, you eat a lot of stuff. So get out there. I think this weekend closes. I think Labor Day is the last day. All right. So on with the meeting. After I just had to share that story, I'm going to introduce the roles. And starting our meeting, we like to do it with a little bit of humor. And helping us with that today is one of our newest members, Tom.
Thank you. All right. So I tried to find a joke that made me feel appropriate. And you found this Wikipedia article described as the funniest joke in the world. For a 2002 study, so on jokes that people submitted and rated. So let's see how this one lands. Two hunters are out in the woods. One of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other guy whips out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps, "My friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator says, "Calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There's a silence. Then a gunshot is heard. Back on the phone, the guy says, "Okay, now what?"
Thank you. Next up, we have someone who's doing two roles today. We have our timer, who's William, and he's also acting as our 1-minute Toastmaster. The 1-minute Toastmaster's job is to give us a quick 1-minute speech about something related to speaking or maybe other topics. William, please give us your 1-minute Toastmaster.
Thank you, Brett. As 1-minute Toastmaster, Brett said I was going to give a little tip in regard to speaking. I'm also timer, so I just got back from Germany, and one of the things that I was really experienced and it was very clear to me is communication is really important. I'm not able to speak German, and I'm not able to speak French. And we were in Paris, and we were in Germany. The first thing that I noticed right away was that the French do not speak very fast. They speak very quickly and very softly because this is so this makes it very difficult for me to understand what they're saying. The second thing when we hit Germany was, in Germany, certain letters that you think sound a certain way actually sound different. For example, the people we were visiting lived in a town called Hoyt. I wanted to do some Googling on that. How do you think Hoyt is spelled? No. No. If you're German, you already know that. This is how you spell Hoyt in German. R's or H's. And lastly, speed. This is one thing that I bring up a lot when I do evaluations. This communication is very important. If you're speaking too quickly, especially as a foreign speaker, people do not understand what you're saying. I'm constantly telling people, say that again, slowly, slowly. Let's keep those things in mind as we do it.
Thank you, William. Communication is definitely key. That's why I think most of us are here. I know for me, even speaking for a minute, when the Toastmaster speaking in a meeting, you need to do your best to be clear and concise. There's no better way to practice that than doing like this every day and using what you learn in the room. The next part of the meeting is give us a word of the day. It's a word that we can use throughout the day. We want to try to use it as much as we can. And he's also going to be in charge of the dings. As we say, like, he's going to ding us. So Vince, please give us your word of the day and you can have your ballot cast.
Thank you, Mr. TechMasters. So, for the word of the day, have you ever heard the spelling of voice freeze? So I have a couple of roles, like he was saying, like Brett was saying here. I have the role of listening to everything, looking for filler words, zones, things like that. We want to clear that up. We want to just speak. Better to take a little bit of a pause if you're not sure what to say. And to fill it with means flaws. Also, I will be giving the word of the day. The whole point of the word of the day is to try to fit it in as you can, try to think it on your toes, be able to improvise, and that will help you many facets of your speech. So today's word of the day is rigmarole. Now, a lot of you might have heard me say rigmarole and wondered why there is no thing here. It's kind of like here's the segment of the syllable, and you kind of put that little upside down, what they call it, swallow sound, rigmarole right there. So rigmarole. And what is rigmarole? Mindless pratter, it's just going on and on. But you, when I say a bunch of you on nothing, it makes me quite stop. Blathering, whining around, not really getting anywhere, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Rigmarole, and I always say, well, you're awesome. This can be used in this sentence. Sure. Instead of, in lieu of answering the question during table topics, some members like to just engage in rigmarole. Thank you.
One of the most important parts of being in the meetings is the role of the community. That bell is very, very key. And as a club, various members have different ideas of how the bell should be used. And I feel over time, it's not been used enough. And I'm falling back into likes, so's, and after pauses. And I think a lot of it is because I don't have that internal don't get dinged. But I know Vince is not very shy with the bell, so hopefully we'll hear it a lot. And as we use some of those not so great words, we'll hear it loud and clear. Okay. The next aspect of our meeting is everybody's favorite. It's where we all get to work on our impromptu speaking. This is a section called Table Topics. And leading us through that is a past president, current vice president of education, Alex Carmusco.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Please try to use word of the day when you are speaking. This is very good that you need to do it very quickly on a quad. So today I'm going to have two topics. One, something related to technology, and something related to politics. And I will try to manage between technical and very technical people. Who is speaker today? Yeah. Michael, yes. Anyone from guests would like to participate in table topics? Okay, great. All right. So let's do following. Bill, there is a novel goal for Microsoft to release Windows 10 for computers and mobile phones, and it has to run all together. What do you think about it?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Tabletop Master. What do I think about Microsoft releasing a platform that will run mobiles as well as desktops and notebooks? I believe that this is a very lofty goal. I believe that the experience that you get on a mobile phone, especially a Windows mobile phone, is completely different than what you would receive on a desktop or a notebook. Therefore, I don't believe this is going to be something that's easily attainable. However, we've seen that Xamarin is able to run iPhone, as well as Android from the same typical code base. So the impossible can sometimes be achieved. However, I'd just like to conclude, I'm gonna wait to see if that actually.
Pretty easy one.
I did not.
You can engage in rigmarole to say rigmarole.
Thank you for pointing out.
Brett, you'll be next.
Rigmarole.
I'm in, yeah.
Recently, there was a big hack of website HTML, but company says that subscriber base grew after it. So do you think it was a hack or marketing campaign?
Very, very interesting question. I'm not sure what Active Madison is. Just kidding. Actually, I was on that list that they found. And not by any of my own doing. A buddy of mine years ago signed me up for an account on that and a few other sites. And one day I started getting emails. We set up a fake profile for me with a picture that wasn't me. But I started getting all these emails. I'm like, what is this now? Oh, my wife. I'm like, no, I didn't. And it turned out my buddy Nick was playing a prank on me. And I believe that account's still active. I don't know the password. And I was curious to find that list. I'm not sure if they released it, but I'm pretty sure if I did find them, I might find myself, which is a pretty, let's get that, happy about that, right? If employers look at that, that's going to look great to me. Now, do I think it was intentional or a hack? I don't think it was intentional because they're facing a very, very large class action lawsuit, which is funny because these people who are signing up to a service that's going to allow them to anonymously break the law in most places are now saying that, well, we are very upset you outed us for breaking the law, and now we're going to sue you. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that, since much of what they were doing wasn't legal to begin with. The idea that it would have been intentional, I really don't think so, because I don't think you can predict that outcome. I think that most of the members probably aren't happy. A lot of people close their accounts, and I'm sure there's competing sites that maybe are now saying, oh, we are much more secure than them, and they can go get whatever services they want on those sites. But it is an interesting idea. When membership grows, you wonder if someone's studying the economics of the issue or not, but I don't think so. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Mr. TechMasters. Thank you.
We have a member of TechMasters already. Great. Okay. Tony, question for you. Could you tell me, whether there's so many discussions for Iran, deal or no deal, do you have any beef with Iran?
Thank you, Mr. TechMasters. I could engage in a bunch of rigmarole about Iran, but I don't really have a strong opinion on that, other than as I lean towards a more libertarian stance these days, I tend to think we ought to just get out of all these overseas countries and let them, if they want to destroy themselves, that's their problem. And it would be better for us to try to be friends with everybody and not try to be the kingmaker of the world. Because being that kingmaker sort of puts you in a role that makes you even more hated, and it's like painting a big target on yourself. And so many people will decide, we don't like this country, and we're going to go do nasty things to them. So perhaps we got to know how to run a people's business if we make for the most of the country here.
He did.
All right, Vince. For you, it's a question, what is corruption? For example, giving tips to waiters is good way, giving tips to plumber good way, giving tips to city official who get contract to road paving company. Not the difference in giving tips to plumber. So what's corruption?
Thank you, Mr. TechMasters, Master, fellow TechMasters, and welcome guests. So, what is corruption? And you gave some examples that are similar in nature as far as bribing someone for better service, understood. But when let's say for example, if you were performing some sort of service for me, plumber or whatever it was, and I were to give you a little extra something to perform extra services. Let's say your lawn care, you know you were going to charge $50 to do a certain thing. You don't have something on your chart for doing this other little tiny thing I want done, but hey, if I throw in 20, you do this, whatever. Now, what are we trading? We're trading your time for my money, and that's it. Now, if I say you're a government official, if I give you an extra $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 so that you vote a certain way, what you're really doing, you're not trading your commodity with me. You're trading other people's commodities with me without letting them know, without letting them have to say so. So in reality, what you're doing is you're using your power in order to gain some kind of favor, whether it's monetary or maybe your son is going to be the new vice president or something, that kind of thing. Or maybe you're going to get a cushy job because let's say you're talking to a pharmaceutical representative, you're somebody at the FDA or something, and they say, hey, if you pass this drug that's totally unsafe, then we'll get you the head of we'll give you a VP of some department, and you'll make $200,000 a year soon you retire from the FDA in 5 years or whatever. And you say, okay, sounds good. And that happens all the time. They call it regulatory capture. Thank you, Mr. Cable. Oh, wait a second. I can't skip my own word. So, yes, of course. And if you ever ask them or call these people out on it, what they'll do is they'll engage in rigmarole to bounce around the issue and topic and try to bring up things like, oh, we want to save people, so it doesn't matter if we pass an unsafe drug, or oh, hey, we found out later, so we took it off the market. No big deal. In the meantime, Vioxx kills 850,000 people. Thank you, Mr. Cable.
John, what is next big thing in technology that will consume people's minds? Like sometimes it will cell phones, sometimes it will personal computers. What will be in year 2016 or later?
I was just listening to NPR on the way here, and one of the technologies that was being discussed was unmanned drones. So I see in the future a lot of businesses trying to use these. Google is a very vocal advocate for using, or Google, Amazon has been a very vocal advocate for using drones for other services. Google has also been discussing other things as well. I see that being one of the bigger next technologies, but there's a lot of hurdles in place. We use individuals who have no experience in airspace, as well as people who use it for nefarious reasons. So until we get past those hurdles, I don't see it becoming very common.
So now, what's going on in Europe? They kind of facing humanitarian crisis. Lots of migrants coming. And where is the law enacted in 2000 centuries that no humans can be denied any service if it's on the territory of European Union? So what do you think? How we will be able to resolve the crisis? Or can it be applied in the United States?
Thank you, Mr. Gable. I have to be honest when I say I'm not incredibly well versed in the issues that are happening overseas and in Europe when it comes to migrants and migrant behavior. My personal opinion as humanitarian is that I think it's important to be concerned with the welfare of other human beings and at least affording them basic human rights such as security, shelter, food, and access to the opportunity for a better life. That being said, it seems as though there's quite a bit of rigmarole happening on both ends of the spectrum when they're negotiating how to actually go about providing those liberties to people. In addition, I really believe in the potential for people to be good and eventually get along. I really think that would happen someday. And that's about all I know. Thank you.
Yes, you cannot escape even if you are guest. Did you say?
Well, I'm going to be speaking at the end of your meeting. So why don't we just.
But in this case, we are all speakers.
We're out of time.
So you had chance to win this beautiful. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you everybody for participating in table topics. Now I would like to welcome back our Toastmaster of the day, Brad Esther.
Okay, the next part of our meeting is when we take a break. So we have coffee in the back, help yourself. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I would ask the general evaluator, the speakers, and the evaluators to please join me at the podium to organize the upcoming speeches. Thank you.
Mr. Toastmaster, I can't have one.
Sorry, you take a 5-minute break.
Okay, you're going to go first. That's fine.
I'll go first and last.
Yeah.
I would just, I'll be like, oh, I got the first
You're going to evaluate.
So I need about 3 minutes to prepare for it. Let's do it about 7 minutes. That's what I did.
Yeah.
First and last. Just kind of about TechMasters, what it is, more information about the big garden. It's kind of something
You don't have one. You're my car. That's fine.
I got a couple things.
I might.
We're going to keep on.
Okay, right.
She's crushed. Because I've got an outline here.
Sorry about that.
Right, fine.
Maybe we can have
I'm sure the back folks want to the other guys tonight.
So I'm on
Okay.
policy here.
I'll go with you.
What about search? Are you sure you?
I played in the back, so.
Okay, I did too, so it's not.
Oh, man.
All right, you hold one side, you hold the other side.
You can maybe do that.
I know.
Yeah, there you go.
Share one.
Feel free.
That part is, I'm sure that.
We're gonna make that. Oh, I do it. But, and, so the.
Which part were you in?
You're going to stay here for me.
Well, there's not, yeah.
Oh, what do you? Yeah. 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 Small community, we're gonna be short. So.
I'll just let everything.
We'll get on there.
Right. Are you guys any? You guys are very heavy customers, right?
Sorry,
I'm not trying to make this creative, right?
Shut it down.
I gotta get out.
How do I tie this up? That's neat package, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said.
But.
Since you have done with us,
So maybe the yellow one actually, it says, so yeah, think about weddings.
Right, $1. $1.08.
I think last time I pretty close to being right. Well, I also made it.
It's hard, I know, I just didn't want.
Oh, no, I remember that.
Let's shoot for golden.
And that's all I have, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That
Crazy.
Yeah.
I try to explain.
That's good though.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's busy as well. Are we listening?
Hey, it's always when you have table topics, call on people. Don't have an assigned role. Yes. Which these days doesn't happen very often.
Right.
Trying to change that. We had like 15 points on the average. When it has to be up to
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing that happens is even when that a little bit of a problem.
I just wanted to show Vince that I understand that the podium is also.
As long as you don't think the lecture.
Yes. Don't break the game over.
The next part of our meeting is when we generally do the prepared speeches. Today we have a little bit of a different meeting because we have one speaker as opposed to 2 or 3, and we also have a guest who's going to be giving a speaker at the end in review of our meeting. Today's speaking on the topic of Bound for Greatness is our founding member, the, what do they call it, the charter member? Founder, the founder. You've probably all seen him speak here and everywhere else in Minnesota and across the country. He's an amazing speaker with lots of great insights, both technically and from a personal level. He sometimes shares personal stories about his life that are very interesting. Please help me welcome our founder, Mike Bankovich, talking about Bound for Greatness.
Thank you, Brett, and I want to welcome our guests here. Hopefully you're having some fun. You know, one of the things I look at when I look at why would I go and join Toastmasters Club is what will I get out of it? What does it give to me as a person, you know, in this whole rigmarole of trying to get through life? There's a lot of different challenges and things that we have to learn how to go out and do. Now, when we started this club, the whole idea was to provide a forum for technologists, people who work in technology, whether it's developers or people that are admins, to be able to get up and practice communication, and all kinds of different communication skills we go through and do. One of the challenges is trying to take a technology idea or concept and to be able to explain it in a way that makes a lot of sense to people who maybe aren't so technical. And so today's speech, I hope to go through and speaking to inform you on what is XAML versus HTML, so markup language for building applications and code. And I kind of want to go through and speak about what that is. And one of the other things that we learn how to do is work with different kinds of technology for your project. And what is your background? A lot of times we'll use the whiteboard or something like that. I happen to have Notepad, which is a great presentation tool. A lot of people use Visual Notepad and Notepad++. It's one of the new great technologies coming out with Windows 10. You can now get Notepad 10, which is going to allow us to do things like word graph, use shapes. And what is bound for greatness? Well, this is talking about how can we take an idea and be able to present it. How many people are developers? Okay, sort of. So about half the audience writes applications. How many people use applications or software? Anyone do things like mobile applications? Use your cell phone, maybe more than your computer. What is it that we're doing with that? Well, someone had an idea to try to take some kind of a program and be able to present that out to us. And as developers, we talk about this thing called user experience, or UX. What is UX? Is user experience. When you use that application, is it a great feeling? Is it like, wow, this is really working for me? Like, you got the pen and the paper. That's a great experience because you got the feeling of kind of going across the paper. It presents and shows you what's there. Let's kind of run the try, and all of a sudden you don't have things showing up. Have you ever had that happen in a software program where you start putting down things and it doesn't show up? Getting that data to store somewhere and be able to present it out is what is called the user experience. How do we take that data and convert that into something that we can present to use in our application? Now, software has always been about how do we present to the user that information, whether it's the old green screens, the old 32/7 terminals that would show data coming from a list of different fields inside of an indexed record that's stored on the database somewhere in the computer, or is it some relational database that has data that we're pulling out and presenting? What we look at is how do we make that data and that presentation interactive in a way that you can really use it. Now, 30 years ago, 25 years ago was when the internet sort of came along. All of a sudden, we had this way of taking information and presenting it with a language called HTML. Anyone know what HTML stands for? Someone who's not a developer? Okay. Martha? Right. The last two words of that is markup language. So 25 years ago, some brilliant technologists sat down and said, we need a way to be able to make it easy for us to go out and present information out into this thing called a browser. So we just had a simple little reader that could present all that information. That markup language established was HTML. Version 1 of HTML is about 25 years old or thereabouts. Specifications like the version of the language. And over the 25 years, HTML has become one of the de facto markup languages for presenting stuff. Now, I don't know if you know that there are multiple technology companies out there: Google, Apple, Microsoft, Mozilla, Firefox, Opera, who all want you to use their way of doing it. And they want to put more interactivity because it just having their data. It's got to be able to pop, it's got to be able to jump out, it's got to be able to really grab and make you, I just want to use this program. A good experience is one where you feel like it's engaging you, like it's coming out and really grabbing and making you feel like, okay, I'm really part of this. The thing about HTML is that in order to do that, they have another language called ECMAScript, ECMA, which is a technical term for what is commonly known as JavaScript. But it is JavaScript that came along after the word language Java got full name. So it's called JavaScript. But all it is it's a way to actually add that interactivity to that HTML. Now the challenge is that all of the different browsers have different ways that they run with JavaScript. And so trying to find a way to get that interactivity to be consistent across the different browsers is kind of a challenge. So when we think about using that old spec and the old technology for doing it, we say, you know, if we were to design it today, how would we do that so we got more advantages of really tying that data and the presentation together? So in 2005-ish, 2000, Microsoft came up with this new markup language called XAML, or Extended Application Markup Language. It's also a markup language just like HTML is, but it has the advantage of actually being interpreted into compiled native code. So the thing that we're doing to generate that interactivity to C# or VB is actually generated by XAML. So when I write out a line of XAML markup, it gets interpreted or changed or compiled into actual back-end code. The beautiful part about this is that the thing that the developers are going out there, the designers are going out and creating that beautiful presentation. They can create it in XAML and hand it over, and the developers then take that code and extend it to begin the actual UX. So XAML is a modern markup language that takes and allows us as people who build applications to work with people who understand design and extend it out so that you can get that interactivity. So when you build out applications that are really going out and providing the way to go out and do that, there's a great thing about using this. Some of the features about XAML that you need to know about is that it allows us to take a model of like some kind of an object, like a person, and be able to bind it to fields on the screen, the presentation. And through the markup language itself, be able to do this very concisely, but it generates native compiled code. The difference between native is that it's run beforehand, make sure everything's going to work, where JavaScript is interpreted at the point where it's being run. JavaScript has to make sure that I do all these things, but you end up at runtime when the user's actually sitting down with the application, finding bugs and errors or issues that by using the compiled version of C# and the native code, which you will have those bugs at the point where you run. Data binding, style, we've got all of these great things about how I can want to create this managed code, which allows me to apply something called object-oriented programming because I've got a very strong base or class object library that I can kind of tie into that. So the goal is to say, how are we going to be able to go out and take a markup language to take some idea and turn it into an application that people will want to use. Each markup language that you use is something that you can go out and do native code, or something that's some 25-year-old ancient rotten old browser technology. I mean, that's kind of bad. And we all know that that's all going to probably go away in the near future. Because who's going to use the browser? Mr. What's that?
Thank you, Mike. Very clear explanation of XAML. A large part of my job is doing XAML development. I do quite a bit with it, actually. WPF still in some cases. So it's nice to hear a very succinct explanation of how it works. So thank you for that presentation. Since we only have the one speaker, I think we're not going to bow our heads to do the vote because Mike, you're so good.
The speaker.
So I'm just going to move right to the evaluation portion of the meeting.
You don't get to do that, I do.
I'm going to move to the evaluation portion of the meeting by calling up today's general evaluator, our president, Ms. Paul.
Now, I like to take notes of things, but I'm using my computer as geographer machine, so I email myself my own. But while I'm doing that, how about we have the evaluator, base evaluator. Oh, Tony, if you could please do me a favor and do us all a favor and get Mike this evaluation.
it's always fascinating to listen to you talk. It's good to learn from, it's always fun to learn from somebody who's done a fairly good job at mastering the craft. You said, and so I asked, what did you want me to look for? And you said mostly your use of props. And at using props, you did a great job. Using something like Notepad is kind of a cool tool to sit up there and be able to do something a little bit more dynamic and interactive with people. And so that's it. That's a good way. It can help generate a little bit of interest. I also, of course, always look for, did you do the introduction, the body, the conclusion? You started out with a little bit of a story, like in history, that was great. Went into an interesting presentation. Wow. As a developer and somebody who struggled with XAML a little bit, I had to try a little bit of personal prejudices. But it's fascinating to hear. There were a couple points that I might think would have made it even better. You were targeting, I think, the non-technical person. And so at one point you talked a little bit about an index list and a relational database, and it might have been better to just say, got the data from the computer, because non-technical people might not have, again, might not care. Not what the difference is. In fact, a lot of newer developers may not have heard of it associated with this ISAM, things like that. That's dinosaur technology that some of us that are here might remember. Might have been fun to see a couple little snippets of what XAML looks like, just to paste some of that in. And even a sample, a micro sample of HTML. That would be, I think, the biggest thing is, here's what a little HTML looks like. Here's what a little bit of XAML looks like. Here's why XAML, and you're trying to make these why XAML is that. So I think the examples would have been great. It would have been a great presentation. Thank
Thank you, Tony. All right, so I now still go ahead and probably list that. Both I think it's very obvious one. So I will move along to the other remaining portions of the evaluation. We like to evaluate every portion of our meeting. We like to make sure that we're keeping our time on time. We like to make sure that we are watching our grammar, things like that. Moving along, let's see, the first thing we need to do here is the kind of report. The kind of today report. Don't give us a
Thank you, Mr. President. Today's timing, 1 minute Toastmaster is minimum 1 minute and 53 seconds. A little bit long there. Table topics, I went 53 seconds. Brett, you went 1 minute 38. Again, we're shooting for a minute, 1 minute and a half. Sarah, 1 minute 19. Tony, 1 minute 18. Vince, 2 minutes 5 seconds. Long minute there. John, 55 seconds. Just under a minute as well. The speeches. Today's speech by Mike Bainbridge, Bound for Greatness, was 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Today was going for 7, a little bit long. Tony, your evaluation was 2 minutes 52 seconds. So 2 to 3, so you did well. That is what I have for the time report.
That looks much readable in my Sorry about that. The next role is the grammarian, which is myself. And I email myself my notes. So I have clearly not formatted very well, but you'll notice for Oz and Oz, I have Will, Brett, Tony, Sarah. I did get you one, but I didn't think you could and but that's pretty good for a 1 minute 19 second presentation by a guest. And then Mike had 3 in a nice long, fairly proper speech is what I can tell. And John, 7.
win.
Yep. For word of the day, actually, for Tony, I feel like Tony, maybe even Sarah, but one of those, for sure Tony would word of the day, not. And let's see what. I'm sure other people did. If I remember correctly. And as far as the word picture is concerned, Mike had several in his presentation. And the ones I wrote down were like a pen moving across the page. He like to emphasize similes and metaphors. So while several that were warranting, I was mentioning that one was kind of so. And anything else to mention? One thing you said is that you didn't have a lot of you know this going in your speech. You kept saying you know, but a lot of times we don't. Which is why you're giving us a technical speech. You could work on that. Moving along after preparing, we have table topics. Today's table topics master was Alex. You can come up and give us present with the line of all of there.
This is very not easy to use with vivid words and impromptu speaking, so nobody uses it today, but in general, combining word of the day and immediately would be something perfect. So today, I liked Brett's answer. It was very entertaining. Next, I like View and Vin's answer because they're very coherent and kind of mini speeches. But finally, what I liked the best was a very much impromptu speech, very difficult question using word of the day. So it is Sarah.
Anything else? Like, sure, I thought that was a very good answer for someone who has never answered these kinds of questions before. And she admitted, like, I don't know anything about it, but let me talk about it. Pretty good. And what else do we have here? So, best evaluator and best speaker. Pass the bottom. I don't even think you need to. Any kind And beyond that here, now at the final portion of the general evaluator is to give the general evaluation of the overall meeting. I have been trying to tighten up this meeting, but I can't. I'm going to work on it. I apologize. We're going to get it tighter and faster. We're going to get it tighter and faster, I promise. But I do think it's still dragging on a little bit long. And what else? I thought that it was great that Mike was questioning class speech today this morning, and to come out with something like that in such a at least somewhat impromptu manner is pretty impressive. And I think that his use of visual aids is making. As we could exemplify visual aids, I will definitely be keeping that one. And beyond that, let's see. It would be nice to see making sure that we actually do presentations. It seems weird that people that can't show up and get sick randomly just have to be speakers. At least half the time, sometimes. I don't know if it's gets you nervous and makes you sick or something, but whatever it is, you need to fix that. And I can't add too much more. I think that in general we did a pretty nice job. Before I turn it over to the Toastmasters, since we're on the general evaluation portion of the meeting, I wanted to turn it over to our area director to have her give us her general evaluation. Oh.
Thanks, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It really is my pleasure to be here on my official visit. I just want you to know that there's no rigmarole going on here. It's just an opportunity for me to come and take notes. One of my jobs is to make a report to Toastmasters, all of my thoughts on how you're doing. The reports that I do are divided into 6 sections, and I'm just going to mention them because they're the 6 areas that Toastmasters feels are important for the club: health and viability. The first one is first impressions. I think all of you would agree that this club does a really good job of first impressions to guests. The second is new member orientation. I also think you've got that kind of under your belt. You've got a great new member packet, and I know that you're a signing member, a mentor. The third is fellowship, variety, and communication. I won't say much about that today. The fourth is program planning and meeting organization. And I think you do a pretty good job, and I have a couple of suggestions for you. The fifth is membership strength. And I know membership strength is one of Vince's goals this year, and I hope you'll all jump on that bandwagon and help him. He's got a lot of excitement. That's always good. And the final is achievement recognition. This will actually might be interesting for your club as you bring in new members to help them work toward that conflict and get them fired up about speaking. Yay! Actually, I'm really happy to be here. And one of the things that I will be providing to Vince is my report prior to submitting it to Toastmasters International, so that you'll have an opportunity to say, oh, I don't know why you say that. Because I view this report as an opportunity for conversation, for something that's going to help you, and if it doesn't help you, then I don't want to have it be official. One thing I do want to just say is I'm excited about you doing Speechcraft, and I'm familiar with the Speechcraft program. My home club does it every year, and every year we gain members as a result. So if there is anything I can do to help you with that, let me know. I'm happy to do one of the instructional speeches. If you'd like to have me come and do that, it would be my pleasure to do so. I want to conclude today by reminding your club that Vince will be representing you at the area speech contest, which is being held on September 10th. It would be wonderful if other members of this club would attend as well. There's nothing more heartening when you're standing at the front of the room and there's a sea of strangers out there to see someone you know the whole night. So if you can go, that would be great. I am looking for someone from this club to serve as a judge during that speech contest. So if you know you're going and you'd like to be a judge, we'd love to have you let me know. It's great to visit you again. I'm sorry about being a tiny bit late. It's like 5 minutes, maybe 15 minutes difference. I don't know if that's right. Anyways, I look forward to continuing to work with your club over the coming year. As I mentioned before, please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, which we can discuss at the time. And if I can help you at all, I'd be happy to do so. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, I was going to reach out to you and maybe David as well about being a guest presenter during this weekend. All right, now I'm going to turn it over to our Toastmaster Britt.
We're doing pretty good on time, so I have a few minutes here. I'd like to just take a moment to invoke the spirit of Paul Shavetti. When I first joined the club, he had about a 20-minute conversation with me on the phone, kind of trying to give me the value proposition of joining TechMasters and Toastmasters. And he kept saying, you get out of it what you put into it. And he kept using the phrase, you got to lean into it. Now, it's easy to get caught up in the rigmarole of everyday life, and you get used to the club, you get used to coming. Some of the nervousness that might drive you early on starts to fade as you become more comfortable. But I'd like to challenge everyone here, myself included, I've been able to give it last year, to lean back in, try to improve your skills. Leah asked, what's the value of doing the content? Communicate with it in a meeting with the local supervisor. My thoughts on that are, as you give more and more speeches and become comfortable just standing in front of people, you fall into your natural kind of disposition. And that's not always good in certain cases. You get a little lazy, maybe your words aren't coming out as clear, your vocal variety fades, your use of visual aids starts to wane. The competent communicator, every week, as you do one of the assignments in there, challenges you and pushes you in different directions. Once you complete that, there's additional advanced manuals that you can get. The Toastmaster awards, to me personally, aren't the driving factor. It's a chance to improve on something that you may have let slip. So I'd like to invoke Paul and ask everyone to lean back in. And that energy is contagious. When you see someone like Vince come up, I mean, as president, he's done more than probably the last 4 presidents just in this first part of the term. I mean, I was president the year before Alex, and my only thing was really finding the implementation. Everything was kind of running smoothly, so I didn't feel the need to change too much. Vince has kind of been put in a position where we're running local members, and he's really stepping into it. So as part of my job as Toastmaster, I'd like to give him the Spark Award for all the energy he's bringing to the club. Additionally, I get to give out the Fuzzy Mouse Award, and this award is kind of thought of as explaining kind of how to your grandmother, but I don't think Mike's topic would have resonated with my grandmother. I think it would resonate for a lot of people who are kind of curious about the differences between imperative and declarative programming, what XAML is, what HTML is, the differences between them, kind of how it all fits together. And as a high level, basic speech to kind of give you demo information, I thought it was fantastic. So Mike, I'd like to give you this award. Thank you, Mike. That's all the awards I'm going to give out. Say this special things that Vince was picking on for, though I could probably be convinced that the nomination for Notepad is pretty awesome, but I guess it's not. It really doesn't have the artistic vision that we're looking for, but it is effective because it is so minimal, and so I think it's a pretty cool technique to use. So, with that, I'm going to call up to close out the meeting our president again. Help me welcome Vince.
Brett. All right, let's see. We have a couple things to do. Are there any closing announcements or any last minute business? All right. Do we have an invitation? A closing invitation?
We do. Closing invitation today is the best way to predict your future is to create it.
Meeting is adjourned. See you all next week.
Oh, thank you.